In the heart of this land in Uganda, Africa, a race was once run, a test of endurance of spirit and of community, a race that once brought people together from far and wide. For years, it was a defining event until one day, it disappeared.
Aloi Marathon started way back in around 1950s to 1960s. We had Aloi Marathon, and it was then called Aloi in our local language.
But as far as I recall, and as far as my colleagues recall, Aloi Marathon was created pre-independence. And by that time, Aloi Marathon was already in motion. It used to be run from Aleptong to Lira, which is a distance of 42 kilometers. And this used to be an event that occurred every year in December, and the winners were gifted in terms of animals, either goats or cows or sheep, and it was an event that brought people together.
This marathon was a race that united people because you get to meet people from all walks of life and from different communities, because we even had only one county by then. You get highly exposed and connect with other people.
One thing that I did notice was, if you chance to win, you get to be exposed to different dignitaries in the community. That alone is a great benefit and could earn you opportunities. In those days, apart from just the exposure, you would also win a prize, and the prize was a bull or a cow. Traditionally, the marathon in those days, community members, both men and women, boys and girls, would flock the marathon ceremonial ground. Trucks would pick up community members and take them to the ceremonial grounds in very large numbers.
But like many great traditions, the marathon faced challenges. Political, social, and economic factors all played a part in its disappearance. For the last several decades, the sound of footsteps on this path was silenced.
Back then, a time in around 70s, there was a lot of insurgency, cattle raiding, almost took off all the animals in the hands of our people in Aleptong and Aloi in particular, and the surrounding areas. Again, in around 1980s, came in the issue of Holy Spirit movement. Then in around 1980s came in the issue, this Lord's Resistance Army came in from around 1980s, which went on until up to around 2006.
And a lot of people got displaced from their homes, and they in fact ended up staying internally displaced people's camp, which was the largest camp, actually, refugee camp in the country at the time. During this time, they could not work on their gardens, kids could not go to school, those who had jobs had to lose those jobs, and everybody used to stay communally in the camps.
So that definitely ended the Aloi Marathon then.
But some traditions are too powerful to fade. A group of passionate individuals, inspired by the past, are bringing the marathon back and stronger like never before.
Why do I want to revive Aloi Marathon? Actually, I belong to the Rotary Club of Kampala in Uganda, and I'm a past treasurer of the Rotary Club. I now live in Toronto, Canada. I'm originally from Aloi in Aleptong district, northern Uganda. We want to revive Aloi Marathon as an event, as an instrument to serve several purposes. When the insurgency ended and people went back to their homes, they were now going back to their homes which were completely dilapidated. Infrastructures were broken down, and even that sense of being together was no longer there.
But we think that if we revive this Aloi Marathon, in a sense, we are trying to do a lot for our people, to bring hope to them, to let them think that they are not alone, they are not left alone. We are with them, and people are with them. And so we think that if we revive this Aloi Marathon, we definitely will help bring hope to our people. First of all, bringing them together.
I want to say that as part of government, I welcome the idea. My input, basically as a sports officer, is to make sure that I act as a link between you and government.
Remember, we're reviving this so that we nurture talent and also we ensure that Lango regain its past glories. So despite all these challenges, we are overlooking at this with the opportunities that will come with the revival of this Aloi Marathon.
So one of the group of University Canada West recommended that in order to raise money urgently, which is what we need to do crowdfunding with a focus, of course, on North America. We bought into this idea. We prepared a budget, a modest budget of $20,000, which would help us cover some of the initial costs. And this is the purpose of talking to you today, to appeal to you to dig deep and contribute towards this effort. We need to raise $20,000 urgently. So if you can contribute, we'll be very grateful, we'll be appreciative, because it will help us to raise the resources that we need in order to cover these overheads.
Aloi Marathon. From the start to the finish, we run for a better world.